Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chainlink Live. I'm Andy Boyan from Chainlink Labs. Astrid is here with me from Kardia Chain and MyDeFiPet. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes properly, learning all about MyDeFiPet. I love the idea, kind of how it came to be and like how the mechanics work and all that. So we're going to get into that stuff. Astrid, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm quite great.
Good.
Just today, another incubated game from Kardia Chain is Theta Arena. It reached the on-time high and it's 100 times fold from the ideal price. So yeah, it's so pumpy right now.
That's pretty fun. A lot of crypto gaming. I just saw a news story that GameStop is hiring somebody for a head of Web3 games. So like crypto gaming, I mean, it started last year far before that, but really the push has been big. And then this year it's been growing incredibly. What are some other interesting games that you've seen lately? Crypto games or Web3 games?
Um, It should be. I personally am more interested to the NFT games, the game with the complete gameplay. It's not about click to earn games kind of either game. Yeah. So yeah, right now I'm more interested to the game with, for example, the MyDeFiPet game is the kind of pet game, and then Tita Arena is kind of a mobile game, or yeah, for example, Mithra is kind of a card game. Yeah, but it's uh but I prefer some game that that can be the trendsetter. For example, the pet game like MyDeFiPet is the lifestyle pet game on blockchain, personalized with the pet master, and then mobile game is you can use your character free to play and play to earn, so that you can kind of free to earn. And then the create to earn is also another trend that we are incubating another game right now.
Well, I
So yeah.
love that phrase, create to earn. It fits so nicely in the Web3 space, and play to earn, of course. People in the chat commenting on that as the wave of the future. We can see your comments in chat. So if you have a question for Astrid or me as we go on, she's more interesting in this show. But if you have a question as we're talking about stuff, please feel free to drop them. We will get to them if we can, if we have time. But let's get started properly with this episode of Chainlink Live.
Sure.
Welcome to Chainlink Live. My name is Andy Boyan from Chainlink Labs, and I'm here with Astrid Dong from Kardia Chain and MyDeFiPet. Astrid, we've already been chatting a little bit about exciting NFT games and the new stuff that's coming out. Tell us a little bit again, what makes MyDeFiPet special? Like what kind of helps it stand out? Give us an overview of what this game is about.
Okay, sure. So a brief introduction about MyDeFiPet. I think that the name of the project speaks for itself. The part of the word my is the pet personalization, a feature that will be rolled out in the future to personalize your pet based on your real flight activities, because it will connect to the music app or to the newspaper app, kind of that you can view the characteristic of in your pet. And then the word DeFi and is show about the NFT. Is the game core feature include the play to earn and DeFi function that will be integrated into the in-game content, and it would change the way people play video games. Instead of pay to win, MyDeFiPet allows you to invest to play to earn. And then the last what is pet. Each pet in the game is an NFT that can be traded, staked, borrowed, or lended.
Yeah,
So
the idea of in a lot of these Web3 games and NFT games is true ownership of digital assets is a total game changer with how we interact. There's still gameplay, there's still game mechanics. Game designers and developers still create the fun, a lot of these fundamental sort of game ideas, but the ability to take an asset out, because I've worked on that, right? I've played with it, I've worked on it, I've improved it in some way, or it has these traits, I've invested in it in some cases. That's just a total game changer. Is that kind of how this idea of MyDeFiPet came about? Is you guys saw this change with Web3 gaming and said, oh, we got to make something, and pets made sense, or how did this come about?
sure. MyDeFiPet is the game that we incubate with another game studio called Topbox. So I can talk more about the two team behind this project later, but I can highlight right now the MyDeFiPet has great graphics and contents like traditional mobile or PC games. Um, we release many exciting in-game contents that have play to earn incorporated within the contents that make the players enjoy the game and not be bored reading the play to earn features. Also, the amount of play to earn tokens generated daily depends on the quality and strength of the pass, not just an arbitrary number. And the stronger your pass are, the more math you can complete to earn the rewards. And yeah, and now back to the two teams that combine the strengths together. The first team is the blockchain team is kardia chain. Actually, kardia chain is also the owner of MyDeFiPet, and we support in terms of crypto, everything related to crypto and blockchain technology. And then the game studio is called Toastbox. Is the game come from the VNG, the top one corporation of gaming in Vietnam, in our country. And you know that Vietnam is really hyped in GameFi right now. Vietnam is a nest to born AC Infinity and the hub of many other GameFi projects right now. And yeah, Topbox is also the famous game studio in Vietnam. So both teams with their strengths combine together to make the best game.
Excellent. I want to learn a little bit more about MyDeFiPet. What are the actions? Like, what is the gameplay? What are people doing right now in MyDeFiPet that really lets them play? What are these engaging things that you're talking about? Keep people engaged.
Sure. It actually the first is a pet game. It's very accessible to everyone. You think that the children in the kindergarten also can play. The grandma. You can play it everywhere in your family, in the school, because it's pet game. It's not kind of a selective game. For example, mobile game are really selective for boys and kind of that. But MyDeFiPet the pet is the very cute animals, so that everyone can play and also be it's adorable. And in which each pet in the game is an NFT of its own. The NFT part is the pet, and the users would have the opportunity to trade their NFT pets in the marketplace that greatly contributed to the NFT market. And the pets that have good genes and traits would attract many NFT collectors, traders, and gamers that would be willing to bid to own it. The NFT trading volume could increase significantly, and it would help the Binance Smart Chain network and kardia chain network increase the number of transactions. And actually, it proves it was proven before, because MyDeFiPet user owns way in top 5 in BSC, and also we got trending in top 5 and even top 1 in CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap in a long time.
Well, and I've seen those transaction volumes on BSC, especially over the past 6 months. They've all been crypto games. Like that's just well, not every Pancake Swap's still out there, of course, but like crypto games have made a really significant impact. People on BSC, developers have found that a useful place. I just talked to a guy from Sammy from BSC a couple of weeks ago as well on a podcast. So I know they're continuing to focus on that crypto gaming and Web3 gaming infrastructure. As a good team that has integrated Chainlink for a long time. MyDeFiPet recently integrated Chainlink VRF. Can you talk a little bit about how you guys use Chainlink in this game?
Sure. It's the randomness is something that proves our decentralization. When you come to play MyDeFiPet, you need to buy an egg, at least an egg to hash the egg to raise a pet, right? So 3D pet, an egg, and you don't know what the egg will be hatched to only when you hatch the pet. and yeah, it is the randomness. And building the randomness using blockchain technology can help prove the integrity of the random outcome in a transparent manner. However, the randomization mechanics, either centralized or using on-chain data, are still subjective to exploits and tampering. For example, on-chain block hashes alone can lead to minor reorg attacks, and off-chain RNG data providers are outquit. So even established game publishers are struggling to deal with this problem across the game genres. Evidence in major game companies such as EA, who have a historical structure with their loot box mechanics, as you know, and various gacha games. That gacha game as a game that use randomized mechanics to offer new characters and items in the mainstream market. So this is where we need Chainlink. Chainlink VRF comes into play as an innovative approach that provides our smart contract of MyDeFiPet with properly fair and verifiable on-chain randomness.
Yeah, when you start a new gacha game and you start getting a whole bunch of legendary and epic characters right away, and then you play for another 2 weeks, you start getting a lot less, and then you get none for a week. You're like, oh man, this whole thing isn't right. I've experienced that before. And using on-chain randomness is great, but the benefit of blockchains is that they are transparent. If you can get that data, people can get that data and make predictions, and so you need a combination. So that's why Chainlink comes in. It's off-chain computation delivered in a secure way. If you're interested in this, developers, you can read more about it in the MyDeFiPet blog post. I reviewed that, and there's a great explanation there of kind of how Chainlink VRF works and pulls secure data to provide random numbers. Astrid, is randomness, I mean, we were seeing this more and more with NFT projects, is you want to make sure that the NFT that comes out has rare traits. Are there other elements of games that require randomness that maybe we're not using right now for Chainlink VRF, but in the future, games rely on random numbers quite a bit, right, across the industry? So what are some of those other use cases for random numbers in gaming in general?
So I can take an example from our game MyDeFiPet. So far you can hash up to 300 million X, and you will have the rare pets. So you have common pets, the rare pets. The rare pets are the pets with aura or outline lights, or special accessories, visible special wings, special tails, kind of that. And simply put, by using Chainlink VRF, MyDeFiPet in-game results are guaranteed to be 100% random and provide reliable verification. Also, the security and transparency. So the value of the pet will be proven in the NFT marketplace, and with the rare level, and also the statistic of the pet, for example, HP or attack statistic, or critical attacks or speed. It will become very useful in the battle in arena PvP and PvE. So yeah, so to make sure it's transparency, also the fairness to everyone, we apply Chainlink. It can enhance MyDeFiPet by allowing frequently rolling, and also plan to integrate Chainlink price fit to enable NFT to be priced on chain in our NFT marketplace in the future.
When I think about esports and just how randomization is used in sports today. If you think about chess, who goes first? White has an advantage. Who goes first? All you need is one choice right here. You just choose a hand. But when it comes to esports and gaming, there's so many other variables because everything is programmed. The weather in games is programmed that can change the drift of a shot, a starting location. All these different sort of factors. A drafting order. Whatever it happens to be in some MOBAs. All of that could be randomized, and to be able to have this element of fairness, provable fairness, is an opportunity for the future that I'm excited about as well. A question about your players. Who is playing MyDeFiPet? You said it's made for everybody. Are there a lot of crypto native people who are coming in, or is it more new people, or is it a mix of those? Who are the players here?
Okay, so I can name some of our potential market, very strong market. For example, the majority come from the Philippines and Southeast Asia. Also, I can define that a part come from a middle income country, for example, Philippines, Southeast Asia, kind of that, and a part come from the very rich countries, for example, UK, US, kind of that. So it really can bring people together, whatever income they have, whatever age or gender. It can also attract many female. A large portion of female compared to other games, because the graphics, the gameplay, and everything, it is really accessible to everyone. But Philippines is the top one, and then Vietnam, and then Brazil. The Latin America has a huge fan base. Then a little bit in Russia, in Indonesia, Nigeria, Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, US, UK, kind of that. China as well.
We've got one question in here that I noticed. We talked a little bit about this earlier, but Mickey asks, what's the gameplay like? The thing I want to zero in on is, right, for MyDeFiPet, it's raising a pet, it's taking care of them. But there's also this component where there's a desktop version and a mobile version. Are those connected in some way? And how does that work?
We have the plan to release in mobile version, and also if you download the kardia wallet, is also in the app section. But to optimize your playing experience, it's advisable for you to play in PC mode as of now. And stay tuned for our release of our mobile version later.
We absolutely will. Seeing a number of other questions about token prices, markets, you can take to the MyDeFiPet community channels. There's they'll have resources there as well. All of the channels to official MyDeFiPet and Kardia Chain resources are linked down below, so you guys can find their Twitter and things like that. And I want to encourage everybody to go out and follow them. Astrid, before you go, give us a preview. What's on the roadmap in the next couple of weeks, as well as the next few months, and maybe further?
Sure. A little bit about the roadmap. You can see, we have some idea for Halloween. It's also the source, the initial idea to, for example, the zombie pest, or I cannot disclose many details, but you can sacrifice a pet to turn it into food to feed other higher level of pet.
Brutal.
But
I love it.
Yeah. In development, but you can continue the boss fight. We released the hunting feature before for you to earn a lot of food to attend to the boss fight, and then now the all of the very huge reward will come to the world boss event. After the very smooth version of Warbot, just launched recently, you can experience the Warbot more, and then the spirit, you can sacrifice the pet to earn the spirit, and then merge the spirits to level them up, and then then there comes the evolve. You can see that you will before it just have the level top is 20, the 20s. But now you can in upcoming time you can now evolve in the third form. You can transform the pet in the third form, and I personally very excited to the third form. And then you can see the elixir is something, is the currency you need to exchange something. Please take a note on that, elixir. And also the marketplace. Many people are waiting for the marketplace, but we need to kind of define the value, the true value of the pet, because before the marketplace release. For example, we will define the value of the pet from the PVE, PvP battle or arena before running to coming to the marketplace. And the marketplace can in the marketplace you can trade the pet, filter the pet, and also there will be the dashboard for that. And yeah,
That's really interesting. I want to zero in on that for a sec, because crypto gaming is, and NFT gaming is a little bit different, where in a traditional sense you could create a game and then figure out the balance and do these tweaking. And that's a lot harder to do. If you release an NFT and its stats are as they are, you kind of have to understand, just because a stat is rare doesn't mean it's necessarily good. It means it's rare, but maybe a different kind of stat or a combination of stats is better for a particular circumstance. And so to let kind of the market understand and figure that out on their own and then have a marketplace is very, very interesting. That's cool. That's a really novel concept, economics and game economics wise. Awesome to hear about this and get to know you a little bit. I've got one more great question that I want to give you a chance to talk about before we move. David asks, could you share a little bit more about pet genetics and skills? And this is one of the cool things that Chainlink VRF is used for, is to help determine what those genetics are. What are some of those genetics? What are some of the skills that come from those genetics? Can you talk about that a bit?
Regarding to the genetic, I think that majority people are aware of that. You can read the father with the mother to have the share of the statistic. I think most of the fans are taking creating the infographic to show about the genes, and they can even guess when they breed the father with the mother into the offsprings. They can even guess the offspring genes and also the statistics. It will kind of involve a little bit in the elements and also the skill in the battle. And regarding the skills, I cannot disclose many details, but originally I can share some exciting examples. For example, the Baxi in the army will can boost your energy of the whole army to 10%, kind of that. Or the Rudolph can it has a high test of blood. You can use the high blood pass in front of in front of the front line, in the front line or behind. It's related to the position in the battle. And also if you take a closer look to Anonis or Fang, they has a very high stats in attack or critical. So if you take a closer look to the statistic, you can simply refer or imply to the skill they will have in the battle.
One of the things that I want to point out about this whole talk is how excited you are about the skills and the genetics and the breeding and the game. It's clear that you're passionate about this, and I absolutely love to see that. And so the community as well should be excited that the people working on this project are as excited as you are. And you've clearly got a passionate community. They're here in the chat, contributing, talking. Really awesome project, exciting. Astrid, it's been awesome to get to know you. I have all the links down there, so I'm gonna tell everybody to follow MyDeFiPet and you as we go out. But thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks for coming. Let's catch up again sometime in the future. I want to see how this evolves in the coming months.
Sure thing. Yeah. Thank you for being the host today and having me. Yeah.
My pleasure. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for your fantastic questions. That was great. I learned a lot about MyDeFiPet, a cool, exciting game, and to see Astrid's passion there was really exciting. Some of your questions I did see in there, she answered, so that's why I didn't get to them. So there you go. And if I didn't get to something and you still have a question, head to their Telegram, head to their website and their Twitter. There's plenty of information down in the description below. Please go there. And while you're clicking and subscribing to things, like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We do a couple of these every week, usually on Monday, Tuesdays. Sometimes later in the week, we'll do some bonus ones. And all sorts of other content is coming out on the Chainlink YouTube. We've got a new address. You can notice up above in your URL. It's YouTube/Chainlink. It used to be Chainlink Official. Now it's Chainlink. We got Chainlink. It was a fight to get away from fence-related people. But anyways, we're excited. So like and subscribe to there. You can follow Chainlink at Chainlink on Twitter to get all the latest updates of news and technology and everything, as well as at smart_contract for information about Chainlink Labs and events like these, the hackathon, and all sorts of other events. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to as well. I'm at Andy Boyan. I do posts that say hello and are friendly, and that's about it. But I'm still nice, and I would love to see you there. Anyways, thank you for joining us on this episode of Chainlink Live. Thank you again to Astrid from MyDeFiPet for joining us, and to everyone who joined. We will see you guys next time. Peace.